Just ringing another call to Christopher Browell. His phone should be off. Oh, it's ringing. On a weekend.
This is the Vodafone voicemail service for 07762471196. Please leave a message after the tone. When you finish recording, please hang up or press the hash key for more options.
Oh yes, good afternoon, Mr. Browell. It's Mr. Hussain here, once again leaving yourself a message. Today is Friday, the 30th of September 2023, and I'm surprised that your phone has actually been ringing today. I mean, it actually rings. Usually you have it, I would assume that you would have it switched off on the weekends. But hey ho, how do I know how the council works? They have no logical reason, no doubt. Probably you're working from home, or more importantly, you're working from abroad, which is all over the news as well. Now today is 54 days since you've now unlawfully abducted and incarcerating my brother. You've read the emails I've been sending. Oh, what a week we've had, hey, what a week we've had. What emails have I sent this week? I've made it quite clear that your fraud and malevolence and your joint enterprise corporations is all coming to the fore, isn't it? You've been desperately trying to get my brother to have lacking mental capacity for years now. All of a sudden, how could you convict me and make them the victims of my criminality when they never made a impact statement or never made a statement against me, and yet you have managed to convict me, and now subsequently, retrospectively, you're looking to justify your criminal conviction of what investigation of 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, your criminal conviction of 2016, and subsequently everything else, ensuring that all you did in Talib's best interest for him is his in best interest now that you've taken him from our home, alarmed and distressed. Everything I am, he is. We are brothers. We share everything together. So he knows exactly what's been going on, or I tell him everything. I don't hide things from him. I've told him everything that you've been doing, the persecution and the oppression that you've been suffering. He's been telling me, brother, what more can I do? I've authorized you. I don't want to be dealing with these people. So he's clearly articulated that to you. And we've been doing this down the ages, haven't it? All the way down to 2014, when you originally murdered my brother Nazem. And it's the same actors, isn't it? It's always the same actors. I mean, you've just come on board recently, but it's your managers, isn't it? It's Nadia Khan and Vicina Brown and, Vicina Brown has only come on recently, but primarily it's Nadia Khan as far as the city mental health team regarding my brothers is concerned. With regards to my parents, is more Najim Salim, but always under the direction of the health and well-being director, previously Bev Maybury, now Ian McKinnon, or whatever, the present health and well-being director, Ian Macbeth. That's right, Ian Macbeth. Always under the senior management team of the council, spearheaded by Kirsten England. Yes, we are here. I've just received some, telling evidence now in the disclosures coming through, particularly on my medical records, which clearly shows that you have been trying, the local authority, Bradford Council, in collaborations with the NHS GP practices and NHS Care Trust, have all been colluding and conspiring to cause me to have a mental breakdown. Okay, and then you can say you can medicate me for my best interest. I see now. I see exactly what you've been in. Your corruption and malevolence is all coming to the fore now. Today is the 30th of September, 54 days later. You're unlawfully keeping my brother held captive. There is no legal framework in place. You've not had any legal framework in place. You are trying to now railroad through deprivation of liberty orders, which I don't think you've got. I mean, you need to advise me if there are deprivation of liberties. I, as his next of relative, next of kin, nearest relative, need to be made aware of this. And you don't have anything in place. You're desperately now going to the courts, to the judges, to the police to try and orchestrate this. And the police are asking the housing association to assist them to make my brother homeless and in your care and custody. You know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to murder everybody. And I'm in the meantime telling everybody that you're doing this. You're going to have to kill me off or cause me a lot of harm and distress, or do something nefarious to me, as you've attempted to do previously by getting my brother Adalat to poison me in November last year. He works for you directly. Well, he's not going to get involved with me anymore. Only you're going to have to now commission his services to act as the nearest relative for Talib, which no doubt you've already done, and you're already collaborating with. You're going to have to collaborate with my sister Shaida once again, or Halda, or my nieces and nephews, Shuguftra, Wasim and Tasveer. But none of this is going to help you. All right, you can buy off the judges and the police and everything else, because I have independently been keeping a record of all our conversations, even this call. I'm recording it all. You council have been fully aware of this since 2018 when you kidnapped my brother. That I'm sick to death of your lies and deceptions and corruption, and you're getting away with this. So I'm going to record everything. How are you going to come out of this? It's not my word against your word. It's your word against your lies. That's how I framed it. It's your lies and deceptions being brought out to the surface. You can't say, "Oh, Mr. Hussein is lying." That's actually incorrect when it's your words. Now, what you're going to say next is, "Oh, I've used artificial intelligence to tell you lies." Don't talk rubbish, okay? This is all you're doing. You've been saving money at exponential rate. You're looking to target and victimize me. You're abusing your positions of authority and power by saying that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. All fabricated lies and deceptions over lies and deceptions. Your lies you've tangled yourself in your own lies to such a degree that you're all tripping and falling over yourself, and at the cost of my human suffering, my brother Talib's present human suffering, and my mother, my father, my brother Nazim's
15 seconds recording time remaining.
My brother Nazim's previous human suffering. And you're saying, "Oh, Mr. Hussein's doing this, he's being angry and aggressive with us." Yeah, I'm just exposing your fraud and corruption. That's all I'm doing, highlighting your guilt and malevolence. I will not stop until I expose every single one of you for your lies and deception.
Sorry, your recording time has expired. To leave your message, press 1. To review message, press 2. Message sent. Thank you for calling.
So you see, now they're all hiding behind the corporate veil. What's happened recently is that the last week I've been sending all this information. I've just got a copy of my GP medical records, and clearly I can see what they're trying to do there. They're concocting a narrative that I've been they're concocting a narrative as professional doctors who are positions of trust and power and authority that I was being aggressive and abusive to them. Why would I be? I never threatened abusive, or I was never threatening or abusive to anybody. I was simply highlighting the fraud and deception. And what they've been doing is that they've been removing all my emails and all my voice in my written emails. And so you see how what they're doing, that's clearly fraudulent. If I send an email to my GP practice, that's just like a correspondence. That email should be made of it on my medical records that I can get a copy back of. They're looking to hide that and cover it up. They've been working with the council safeguarding team in order to murder people, and then they all work together to cover it up. The GP practices, the coroner's office, the police services, the council, the healthcare professionals, they all work collectively, and it's all coming out now, slowly, drip by drip, slowly but slowly. Everything's coming out. They work as a collective, and overarching all of this is the courts and tribunal services and the judges and the judiciary. They all work collectively in order to, what are they doing? In order to do what? In order to exploit your labor, and in order to exploit your personal resources, in order to utilize you for, first of all, for your labor, so you can pay taxes to keep them in positions of authority and power. So through your taxes, they remain in through this whole structure that they've created to benefit each and every one of the professionals. But your taxpayer money, or the people's taxpayer money, is not enough to keep on this lies and deception. So they've been borrowing heavily. I mean, the UK is currently in a 22 trillion pound debt that they borrow loans, and they secure those loans against the children that you're supposed to bring into the world. But it's not just that, they're utilizing you as guinea pigs for the pharmaceutical industry, so they can test out all their drugs on the long-term effects. And this is a very serious issue here, you see, because no manufactured drug can ever be tested. Animal testing just does not work. It's not relevant. It has to be human testing and human trials, and they have to be longitudinal. So over 20-30 years to understand what a drug's side effects are. You can simply not do this any other way. You can't just utilize animals or monkeys to do this, because they are fundamentally different. Medication, pharmaceutical medication, is such a nuanced industry or such a nuanced thing that you cannot substitute human beings with anything else. So what they utilize is they utilize the poor, the disprivileged, as usual, in order to achieve their objectives. So the local authority works in with everybody else in order to sell you as a commodity for the pharmaceutical industries. Because remember this, nothing in this world is for free. And if you're getting something for free, then know this, that you are the product. So in the education system, when your children are going to free to nursery and school system, they're not being educated, they're being indoctrinated. That's the difference. Not educated, indoctrinated. There's a subtle difference, but you see how the present woke narrative is of the transgender rights. This is being indoctrinated into their belief system. So education is not for free. It is, if you do get it for free, you are the product to be indoctrinated. Healthcare is not for free. You think the GPs and everybody else is working for free? They're not working. They're not working for free in your interest. They'll tell you this. They will give you medication quite happily, but they're not looking to cure you. They're looking to keep you in that state so you can continue to remain dependent upon them. Because if you're dependent upon them, you're never going to stand up on your own 2 feet, are you? If you're in debt slavery, you're never going to be able to be free, and in order to bring them to account for their failure. So this is how everything really works. And you can see now, every single day I'm leaving the council because Mr. Browell is just a puppet at length, an earpiece or a mouthpiece of the council. He's just an agent, okay? He has no authority at all, as you can see by reviewing all my calls. All he's there to do is simply pass on messages from the decision makers who live in the ivory tower, who you cannot speak to, who you not have any direct contact with. They're the decision makers, and you can't even ask what their names is. They're just hidden. They're just such an authority figure. And so Mr. Browell is here to simply act as a go-between. And so now they've told him, you don't talk to this guy, all right? We've got what we wanted. We've kidnapped his brother. He's in our care and custody and control. And the bottom line is that they have no legal framework. They've kidnapped him. There is no deprivation of liberty in place. There was no safeguarding issues. He was in my care. You were not giving us the money. You knew the fact that I was going to whistleblow. And each time I'm going to whistleblow and bring it to the public attention, they do this. They take one of my family members and threaten me so I can't expose it any further and compromise to do so. This has now been going on since 2012, when I initially looked to whistleblow upon them. And the matter had previously, they had attacked me in 2002. So for over 21 years they've been doing this now. To me personally, I would say 20 to 23 years. And then to my family, they've been persecuting and hounding us since 1986, when my older brother Nazem first got a mental breakdown. And they've been exploiting him and exploiting the rest of us in order to make profit and gain for themselves under the guise of acting in our best interest, when the reality is that they only ever act in their own best interest. And you people have to be stupid, simply stupid, to believe the fact that, my doctor's really good, my GP's really good, my MP's really good, my counsel's really good, my solicitor's really good, my barrister's really good. No, they're an exception. You morons. They all work. They're all pigs, Orwellian pigs at the trough. They're all there to fool and convince you that they are anything other than what they are, working in their own best interest and utilizing you because money is easily available. So for example, counselors. Do you think counselors work for your best interest? They're getting money. There's money available, so they just come along collecting votes. It's a free 5 to 10 grand, 5 to 10,000 pound a year for nothing. All right, so they just get that money for free, and all they have to do is just show up at a couple of meetings. They're working in your best interest. When has anything ever changed in your best interest? Nothing like this. It's all lies and deceptions, and you can see I get frustrated and angry at the situation, but then they utilize my anger and frustration as a commodity for them, saying, Mr. Hussain is being aggressive or abusive or violent or threatening. All lies. Why would I be violent and threatening? I have a great mastery of the English language, as you can quite clearly see, and I give them as good as I get, okay? They try to give me with these logical fallacies, okay, trying to say, no, it's not me, it's not this, all right, and I get them out on all the logical fallacies. They don't want to speak to me because they can't debate with me, can't, intellectually bully and intimidate me, and so therefore they say, we're scared, we're threatful, we're fearful, and all this other rubbish, all right, that I've been threatening to them. You doing something malevolent, I'm calling you out on it, and then you're feeling scared and threatened. You're feeling scared and threatened because I've just caught you out on it. When you catch a paedophile in on camera doing something horrific, what do you think? How do you think they're going to react? Are they not going to be feeling threatened and intimidated? You're threatening and intimidating me when you're doing something wrong. I have a right to expose wrongdoing, and if you feel threatened and intimidated, it's not because of what I'm doing to you. It's because your lies and deceptions are becoming exposed. Sickening, absolutely sickening, having to deal with those, and they're all in on it. The police are definitely in on it. The courts and the judges are all in on it. They're all working together in order to cause us harm and suffering while saving money and stashing their brass away into the pension fund, which they're then going to retire off.